Now that we got a new Scream movie, we're going to be ranking who wore it best. This isn't going to be no Kardashian pissing contest on the carpet, though. These Ghostface are going to be ranked on brutality, kills, motive, and killer reveal. Alright, let's kick it off with number 14. Greg. Yep, Greg. So, we never actually got to see him in a costume. We never got to hear him do a Ghostface voice. We never got to see him kill a single person. The only thing we got to see from Greg was him chopped up in a refrigerator. And his motive was he wanted to finish doing what Richie started. Yeah, not a very good Ghostface. Number 13 is Jason. So with Jason, we do get to see him in the costume. We do get to hear him do the phone call, his regular voice. We get the Ghostface voice. And he gets to kill Samara Weaving right in the beginning of the movie. But he then gets a phone call, pranked by Ghostface, and murdered. So, yeah, not very good if you're trying to be a killer and you get your ass slaughtered. Plus, his motive is the same as Greg's. Not very good to be picking up where somebody else left off. Alright, number 12. Ethan. So, Ethan is one of 3 killers in Scream 6. And he's barely even on the screen. We don't even get to see him that much. And his biggest claim to fame in the whole movie is he uses the line that he's a virgin. He doesn't do a lot, he's not very menacing, and he's kind of lost in the shuffle now that there's 3 people. And their whole motive is revenge for their brother's death, Richie. And that's it, that's the only motive, and it kind of sucks. Alright, number 11. Quinn, his sister, who is also in the movie, very, very little. And she's known as being a promiscuous girl. So, she does die. Not really. She fakes her own death. Pretty tricky. Neat. She also is the one who gets to take Gail's buff boy toy little boyfriend that she's got going on. Throws him around like a rag doll. So we'll give her some points for that, even if it is unbelievable. And when she takes off the mask, she does have that killer instinct look in her eyes. She also gets that nice scene where she scrapes a blade across the metal. So that's where she lands. Her motive is the same, and it kind of sucks. Number 10 for me is Roman. He's the only one to do it on his own, so that's neat. But his kills are the least brutal in the entire series. They have the least amount of blood in the entire series. His reveal about being Sydney's brother, not very good. And he's taking credit for Billy and Stu. Kind of takes away from the first movie. Not a fan of that. And he also, his motive is that he wishes he had the life that Sydney had. You know, being chased, trying to be hacked up and murdered, living in fear her whole life now. Yep, he wanted that instead of being a director in Hollywood. It's kind of a little unbelievable. All right, if you're liking the list so far, if you'd give me a thumbs up down below, maybe leave a comment on what your list is. Trust me, it goes a long way. I'd very much appreciate it. Number 9 is Charlie. Charlie makes it this high just because he has one of the most graphic kills in the entire movie. He has the awesome scene where he's on the phone and he says he's in the closet. And when they open up the door, he's not there. And he said, "I didn't say it was your closet." And he comes out and he kills Olivia. He stabs her. He slices. He pushes her through a window. And by the time you get over to the house, her guts are spilled out and there is an insane amount of blood. But his reveal being tied up just like Steve in the first one and stabbing Kirby, and the whole reason why he's doing it is for love, because he wants to be similar to Randy but actually get the girl. So that's kind of a shitty motive. And to be fair, when I was making this list, other than the Olivia kill, I would have completely forgot him on this, so he would have definitely been lower. Number 8 is Detective Bailey. So we thought it would be really cool if we ever had 3 killers in a Scream movie, right? Then we got it. And it's not as good as it sounds. Because since there's 3 of them, there's not enough there for all of them to even be kind of monumental. His motive is trying to revenge for his son's death. I do like kind of how cartoonish he gets in the last act. It's not like it's wicked over the top, but it's comical for me. And he does also get the really fun scene with the shotgun in the convenience store. That's a very menacing, brutal, intense scene. And he gets to have credit for that. So that's why he's made it up this far. Number 7 for me is Richie. So Richie doesn't do a whole lot of killing if you're paying attention to Scream 5. But thanks to Scream 6, we did see he's a huge fan. He had that huge room in Part 6 where it had all of the costumes, the weapons, so much stuff. And he was just trying to make his own movie, which fits in with his motive in 5 was he just wanted to create a new movie for them to be able to make because he was sick and tired of the bullshit they were making. Him being the boyfriend and copycatting what Billy did in the very first original one, though, if you're trying to make a new movie after 8 stab movies because they're bad, I don't think copycatting the very first scenario is a good idea because that's just rehashing stab 1 then. He should have been doing something a little bit more ecstatic. Right, number 6 for me is going to be Amber, the person in Scream 5 who does do most of the killing. And yes, it is unbelievable that she's doing some of the stuff she does, but she still gets credit for most of the kills, including the person who kills off Dewey. David Arquette was doing a phenomenal job in this movie when it comes to acting, and he is killed off. So it's kind of unfortunate. But the person who gets credit for that is Amber, and even when she does kill him, she does say that it's an honor. And then I love the fact that when they're finally in the big reveal at the end of the movie and she's on top of Gail choking her, she's just in like such amazement and awe on how she killed Dewey, and she gets to take out Gail too. Now, we know that doesn't happen, but pretty neat. And she's the only Ghostface to ever be set on fire. So we gotta give her a little bit of props because she's the one who comes back at the end for one last scare too. So that's a tough bitch. Alright, number 5. Mickey. Mickey's the easily forgotten one in Scream 2 because after 30 minutes into the movie, he disappears. But that means he's going around doing a lot of the killing and having some good scenes and stuff like that. We just don't know it. I know some people find him cheesy at the end. I love his killer reveal when he takes off his mask. You kind of forgot about him, so it's kind of easy to not know it would be him. But he's got the crazy eyes, and he's over the top and so excited. And his motive is going to be that the movie's made him do it. He wants to get caught. He wants to go on trial. He wants to help influence other people to go on and kill. Could you get a better motive than that? I mean, this guy just wants to inspire a bunch of more killers. That's pretty fucking sick. Number 4, also from Scream 2, is going to be Mrs. Loomis, Billy's mother, who left a couple of years ago because of Sydney's mom doing the whole bangaroo with everybody in town, including her husband. But she lost a bunch of weight, she got plastic surgery done, she even goes by a fake name, and for that she is unnoticeable. But she is acted perfectly. Every scene she has, when she reveals that she's a killer, is so believable. You hang on to kind of every word she's saying. And revenge for her son, at this point in the series, it makes sense. I didn't like it with Scream 6 because it felt like a complete ripoff of this movie. But in this movie, it works just fine because it's the first time it's been done. Right before we get into the top 3, if you like the content and you'd like to see some more coming your way, think about going down to the bottom and hitting the subscribe button. I'd appreciate that. All right, on to number 3, Stu Macher. What can I say about Stu Macher that hasn't already been said? Part 1 has some very awesome kills in it. He even kills his own girlfriend with a garage door. He's energetic. He's a goofball throughout the whole movie. And then when the mask comes off, he cranks it up to 11. He's having so much fun doing this. And he's very charismatic as a killer. But the best part is when they ask him what his motive is going to be, he tells her it's peer pressure. Because he doesn't have a motive. He's just doing it for the fun of it. He enjoys it so much. Which is kind of creepy when you think about it. Including when he tells her he's planning a sequel. Plus, with Stu, we get some of the best lines from a killer once they're unmasked. I mean, he tells Sid that he once had a thing for her. You get the iconic, Surprise, Sydney. We also get feeling a little woozy here when they're stabbing each other, and when Billy ends up trying to throw the phone and it slips out of his hand and hits him in the back of the head. He yells, "Dick, hit me with the phone." It's just whole acting is over the top, but it is to the right amount. All right, number 2 is going to be Jill Roberts, Sydney's cousin. So this one, part 4 was one of the more brutal killings since part 2 and 3. So it felt like it was upping the ante, and in this one she does try to kill off Gail. She's not successful, but she tries. But her whole reveal, I think, is what kind of does it over the top for me. I mean, she's been planning this. She wants her 15 minutes of fame. She saw how much Sydney got it, and she'll do anything to get to the top because she doesn't want to work for a living. She wants to live off of that sole survivor luck, to the point where she even kills Charlie, who's supposed to be in love with her, just because nobody wants 2 people to survive, babe. They like a sole survivor. She beats the living shit out of herself to make it all look so real. They get to the hospital, and this bitch has got 9 lives. They keep trying to kill her over and over and over and over again until they finally do, but it takes a shitload to kill her. All right, number 1, would it be anybody else than Billy Loomis, the star of the original? He's the most obvious suspect there is, and yet they still plant enough seeds to make you wonder till the end. Done very, very nicely. Other than that, I mean, there's awesome kills. You got the gutting of Casey Becker. He tricks Sydney into having sex with him just so that he can kill her, because those are the rules. He killed Sydney's mom. He's been planning this for a year, getting close to her, to do it on the 1-year anniversary so he could kill a bunch of people just for fun. He could kill Sydney Prescott, and he could put her dad in jail being blamed for all the murders just because he wanted to screw over the Prescott family, because her mom slept with his dad and made his mom leave. Doesn't get any more personal than that. All right, you can check out my ranking of the Scream movies right here. Until the next one, guys, rest in peace.